Hey guys, it's Rich, and I'm going to do a dorm room tour for you guys. Show you what my living quarters looks like here in Korea. And yeah, I'm going to try to make this as quickly as possible. This is like the third take. I tried to get this up like last week or throughout this past week, but didn't quite work out because the camera kept on being a little too shaky. I rambled on, blah blah blah, all that crap. You guys don't really care about hearing all of that stuff. So with that, we sip and go. So basically you guys have seen a door before. Pretty okay. You've seen a refrigerator before, so nothing new there. This stuff on top, not mine, but I have been snacking on those fruit snacks. Yum. Over here is my calendar that counts down the days to how long I have left. I am currently on 229. It is also Easter Sunday, so if you're celebrating Easter, happy Easter. Okay, you guys have seen a microwave, and you've seen a sink, little blender, my coffee maker, probably the most important thing in this room, kind of. And over here, and I'm going to explain the stuff over here, so just ignore that for a minute, but I have these candles over here that are on timers. These are great. They're from Party Light. They're a little pricey, but great candles, and you're not in risk of burning the house down. There's my career flag. It has been flown in Iraq, Qatar, whenever I was stationed down in Kansas and in New Jersey. It's kind of a career flag, and yes, I do prefer the 2/4 fold rather than the 1/3/5. So, yeah. It's kind of a career flag. It's going to be the flag that ends up on my casket whenever I take the dirt nap. Actually, I'm getting cremated, so anyway, that's the one that's going to end up on my casket for the viewing. So over here I wanted to explain some stuff that I have sitting out here because I wanted to show you guys, and I'll probably go into a little bit more detail later on or talk a little bit more at length on this. So if you guys want to hear more about it, let me know. If you don't, tell me to shut up. So I have these tarot bags here. This is one that's complete. These ones here are complete. These ones are not. This is basically the majority of all the colors that they have available to us. So yeah, these are the little tarot bags that I've been making. I will be posting these up, and whenever I do, I will let you know. And this is how it looks whenever it's full and complete. And the reason I have this out is because I did Nikki's Pagan pad. I did her tarot reading, and since I still have this stuff out, I figured I'd show you guys. This is the tarot cloth that I have made for myself. It fits a 10-card spread perfectly. So I really enjoy using this tarot cloth for my readings. Moving on, I wanted to discuss these little wooden bowls. You guys, these little wooden bowls are awesome, and they're cheap. If you go to Goodwill, you can probably get like 10 of them for $1 or something like that. Insanely cheap. Probably not that cheap, but yeah. If you go to a flea market or Goodwill, you should probably be paying around $1 to $2 a piece. They're nice, they're cheap, they're durable. They're from around the 60s or 70s, whenever dark wood was all the rage. And one thing I love about them, they fit tarot cards perfectly. It keeps them off the table, keeps them off the ground if you're outside, keeps them off your altar cloth so they're not in your way, and it's nice and easy to go ahead and grab your cards. So if you run into these, definitely I suggest picking them up. Like I said, $1, $2, probably $3 should be the max on these. So if you see these, go ahead and pick them up. You won't be disappointed. You can put crystals in them, you can use them as offering bowls. So many uses for these little bowls. They're fantastic. So I have a couple of them, and you'll see them throughout this video, but for now I'm just going to set that aside. Moving on from the kitchen, we have my sweet mate's room. He's still on leave. And over here, a very small bathroom with pink tile. That is actually pink tile, like powder pink. So now we're in my dorm room. I'm going to start in the north because that's as soon as you walk in. Here you see the package for Annie. This is my north representation. That's a selenite lamp with a little fairy on it. These here, this is a handmade bowl from the Ren Fair. If you get one that's handmade, it's probably going to be around $10, maybe $15, depending on what wood it's made out of. But if you go for the cheaper mass-produced ones from the 60s and 70s type stuff, still a couple dollars, $5 probably max on the more intricate work type. So there's my north representation, and that's where the majority of my crystals and stones live for the moment. Coming up, I have my relics hanging there, and some stone beads in that pouch that I made. This rosary here that I've made, I'm actually going to remake that in a different fashion because I don't like the string that I used on it, so that's going to get remade. And I have a couple pendulums there and my rune stones up there, which I am very eager to reconnect with. And actually with this rune set being the first time that I actually connect with this set. This sign here that my friends from the flea market in New Jersey, my business partner had it made and they all signed it, so absolutely love it. Over here I have my triquetra, love the triquetra, and the rosary that I most often use. I did have my digital picture frame sitting there, but yeah, I didn't like it right above my bed, and I needed a place to hang my rosary instead of it just like hanging out all over the place everywhere else. And there's my twin size bed. Guys, I am way too big and way too old to still be sleeping in a twin size bed, let me just say. This quilt has been with me in Iraq, Qatar, all of my TDYs. This is kind of a career quilt. Ladies in, I believe it was Washington, D.C., would make these quilts and give them out to the troops or send them to the troops in Iraq. And I was the lucky recipient for this one. So it travels with me. Oh, the stories it could tell. Over here I have my air representation. I have a little electric candle. These ones are actually battery operated. I might go into more detail on those and share a link with you guys on that. This bell is an older bell. I did replace the chain on it because it didn't have the chain. It's all brass, and it's new to me. Still trying to connect with it a little bit more. And current readings, and underneath the Temple of Witchcraft I have my Book of Shadows and Archaeology magazine right here. This is March and April's issue. There are some awesome articles in there that I've only started to read because I just got it. Oh, and I wanted to say something else before I move on. For one, the window's open, so if you guys are hearing something outside, that's what it is. Over here, if you look in between my nightstand and my bed, these little things are awesome if you knit or crochet. It's awesome for holding your yarn, so I do suggest getting something like that for on the side of your bed if you like to knit in bed. And over here I have my dresser. This is what I'm talking about, guys. These little things here are awesome. Again, this should be about $1, $2, something like that. It holds a bunch of stones. This one actually was my selenite wand. It got broken in shipping whenever I came here, and as did my rose quartz, which I'm still kind of angry about, and as did my fairy offering bowl. Kind of hesitant to put anything in there because, yeah, I had to glue it back together. I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing. Over here I have Kuan Yin sitting on a little mat that I made. I made that one too. And I haven't really worked with Kuan Yin. I haven't worked with Buddha either that much. But I do love the representation of Kuan Yin and the Buddha. Over here I've also actually made kind of an altar representing my dog, my cats, a little crystal. Basically make it look nice. This is a gift from my business partner before I left, and this represents my friend who passed away a couple years back that I did the funeral for. I've talked about her before, so there's actually a picture of her. And I do have better programs that aren't ripped up. This one kind of got damaged while coming over here. So, and more stones live in that. Just so you guys know, I'm going to move over the altar pretty quickly. I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of a view because I'm going to do a full altar video that's happening in the future. There's all of my books. The bottom is basically all reference. So these two shelves here, they're all on my to read or to continue reading list. Of course, a cup of coffee, always a must in my areas. So over here I have the south. I only have a candle and a crystal to represent the south. Coming over here on a plane, you can't really take a knife on a plane, not that I would really want to, so I couldn't bring my athame. But it's really challenged me to learn to do without, as I've spoken on before. And I know selenite isn't really a south representation type of rock. However, this is where some thinking goes on. So yeah, I really wanted that to help me think, especially whenever I'm editing videos and writing a blog. And there's my finished prayer shawl, fairly long. And I did do a little meditation, a little ritual with it, and I absolutely loved it. And this stuff here I'm going to go over real quick. I have a couple cauldrons here, and you saw one over that away just a minute ago. And a little, this is actually a brush holder, and I might actually do a video on that more extensively. So I'm actually using it as a holder for my knitting needles and pens, whatnot. And there's a mess from my taxes and a phone. Cool thing about this chair, this is a ball chair, and I covered it with a throw that's quilted, and Annie has the exact same line as I do, and I didn't even realize it until I saw her videos in her spare room. She had the curtains and she had the bedspread, and I didn't even realize until I watched her videos, and I couldn't put my finger on what looks so familiar until I realized I have the throw that goes along with that bedroom set. So I thought that was really kind of a funny coincidence. I have my dry erase calendar and cards that I've received since being here, and there I am in the mirror. Hello. And moving on, I usually have two hand towels sitting here, but the other one's in the wash. I have my little dust bunny and my little poppet. That is a pride poppet right now. Over here I have more candles that are all electric from Party Light. Nice little electric candles. They're on timers. They come on around 6 o'clock in the evening, and it's about 5:30 in the morning. So yeah, they'll be off for another like 13 hours-ish. And then I have these ducks. I'm actually going to do a separate video on these ducks, so, because they're kind of cool. And this is, of course, the south representation, and how cool it is to have a sink in the south. I thought it was awesome. Just so you guys know, this is why you use distilled water in your fountains, because you will get that calcium buildup right there that I'm going to eventually have to scrape off. So hopefully that tour wasn't too long. Hopefully like the third take was the one that ended up being the right one. Anywho, I wish I could stick around and talk some more to you guys, but I think I'm getting like some horrible lighting here, and I have to go take my laundry out of the wash and put it in the dryer. So, yeah, I'll talk to you all later. Until next time, may you have love, hugs, and ladybugs. Bye-bye.